I'm Peter Sidwell and welcome to another one of our how-to videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful French shortbread. It's buttery, it's delicious, and it's really easy to apply other flavours. So once you've learnt the core recipe, you can start adding chocolate chips, dried fruit, spices, seeds, nuts, whatever takes your fancy. So with all good shortbreads, it starts with good butter. So 250 grams of room temperature butter, then 125 grams of caster sugar. So use the back of your spoon and just use the bowl and kind of press the butter against the sugar. And we need it to dissolve. So when you're mixing it, at the beginning it'll sound a bit scratchy because it's the granular sugar. But as you mix it, the sugar will start to incorporate into the butter and it'll sound different when you're mixing it. My sugar is incorporated into the butter now. So what we need is an egg yolk. Now I'm just going to use, we've got these space saver utensils here from MasterClass, really good. This is actually a pasta spoon, but it is great for getting your egg yolk out of your white, like so. So in there, keep the white, we're going to need that for later. I'm using vanilla paste in my shortbread recipe because I love that really intense vanilla-y flavour through any of my shortbreads. Now if you haven't got paste, you could use extract, or if you've seen my video on how to prepare a vanilla pod, you will see that when you've taken all the seeds out and used them, keep the pod in sugar and then use the sugar that's infused with vanilla for your shortbread. So in with a teaspoon in there. There we go. Right. Now mix that together. Mix together the vanilla and the egg yolk until it is fully incorporated. Back with the scales. I'm using my TARE Touchless TARE scales because I'm able to switch on, put my bowl on, and then zero the scales. So now I have got a zero. I want 375 grams of plain flour. Carefully mix this together. It's quite important now that you've added flour, you don't just heavily mix this and beat the life out of it, because the more you mix this, the more gluten will be developed, the tougher your biscuit will be. So we just bring it together. You can see now, look, I've kind of mixed the flour in and it's like a crumble, okay? That's where you want it to be. Now, just turn it out onto the worktop, okay? And we're just going to compress the dough. And that is literally push it together like that. Okay? Use the warmth of your hand and the pressure to bring the dough together. Once you've compacted the dough, just roll it into a ball. And then I'm going to roll this into kind of a sausage shape, because then what we'll do is just slice off pieces. So we're not rolling it. If you use a rolling pin on this, it becomes tougher again. The idea is to make as buttery and as delicate a shortbread as you can. So once it's like that, pop it in the fridge and let it rest for an hour, and then we're going to coat it in sugar. My shortbread has been in the fridge, it's chilled, it's had about an hour, so it's nice and firm. All we need to do now is take the egg white that we used from before, because we put the yolk in the shortbread, and then we're just going to brush on the outside, okay? And then we're going to roll this shortbread in sugar. So when you slice it into lovely discs, you get around the outside a beautiful crisp sweetness. Mix the two sugars together. It gives a really nice caramel flavour. Now if you haven't got the brown sugar, just use white, but it really is worth doing. So just sprinkle it over the top. Just a light dusting, and then just sort of brush it, and it makes all the difference. So we'll turn the shortbread over now, and then brush the bit that was on the base, because that needs to stick. Sprinkle that last sugar on there. Just roll the shortbread in the remaining sugar, and then it can pop back into the fridge So whenever you want some shortbread, you can just slice it off. Bake it 160 degrees for about 14 minutes and they will be beautiful. And what's even better about this recipe is it will happily sit in the fridge for at least a week, or you can freeze it. So it's ideal for storing for whenever you've got some friends round or you just fancy that lovely biscuit, you can just slice it off and bake it. If you want the recipe for this, go to kitchencraft.co.uk and you will see it there, but also you will see other recipes of me using this shortbread in different ways to make some amazing flavours.